Hello families, my name is Vanessa Gemignani and I'm going to be teaching our Wet on Wet watercolor class for first and second grade. First and second grade is a really wonderful time because they're really getting to experience this for the first time. And so it's very important that we meet our materials with a kindness and a reverence and a love and adoration. And so we will be meeting our friend Tippy. And Tippy is a tiny little bunny who likes to just tip on his tiny little tippy toes and dance around. And Tippy also loves to go swimming, but Tippy takes silent swims. And then after Tippy takes silent swims, they like to dry off on their beach towel. And then they're ready to dip into their color friends again. And so all of the materials will be introduced in a kind and loving way, along with the three colors that we are going to be using with first and second grade, which are red, lemon yellow, and ultramarine blue. As we get later in the grades, we meet more colors. But in first and second grade, we're really working with these three colors as primary colors and then getting to know those secondary colors and those fun, exciting experiments of, well, what does happen when we mix red and yellow together? Or yellow and blue, or red and blue? What happens? What happens when we put blue first or red first? Is there a difference? And so meeting this painting with a type of curiosity and a desire to be a part of the process of creating something and not being so focused on the outcome. I think many of us adults can relate to maybe not wanting to begin an art project because we want it to be perfect. And so the earlier we can really build in those encouraging, kind and loving words and this desire for curiosity and experimentation inside of a safe container, the better, like the more free we're going to be. It's a question I like to ask myself a lot as a teacher, is how am I contributing to my students' freedom in the future today? How am I doing that? And so by alleviating this need for a perfect outcome and to nurture this desire to create an experiment, we're going to be doing that in painting. And so I'll show you some examples of things that we are going to be doing, and not specifically things that we're going to be doing, but just the ideas. Oh, I also want to mention, if your child is in main lesson or expanded curriculum, it's likely that the teacher that they have in first or second grade will also be painting with them. And so of course I will be in contact with the teachers about what they're painting to make sure that we're not painting the exact same things. So there will be times in painting where I will tell a story as we're painting, and there will be times where I tell a story and then we paint together. So these questions of what does it look like when our colors aren't playing with one another? What does it look like when red is playing alone and yellow is playing alone? And oh, what does it look like when blue and red are playing alone, but then they decide to play with each other for just a little bit of time? But not the whole time. They separate their time. And so these will really be based on color stories by personifying the colors. Primary colors, secondary colors, what happens when we put yellow first or blue first. And here is a little bit of a family color wheel of the three colors that we have access to in their primary states and in their secondary states. And then we'll begin to work a little bit more with form, still based on stories. And inside of this developmental curriculum for first and second grade, we're looking at fairy tales and fables and trickster tales and helpers of humanity, and really just continuing to develop that loving compassion for the earth and all the beings that live on it. And this is Anansi, one of the characters in many trickster tales in the second grade. And so this is using the process of lifting. So this is something that will be introduced towards the end of the semester. So I'm very much looking forward to learning and teaching with your child and being in collaboration with you as well.